Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in the last video we saw right how we can create issue, how we can add comment into the Jira using APIs right from the Postman. So let me open my Postman here. So let me open this Postman. Okay, so so I just launched my Postman here, right? So we saw like how we can create issue, how we can um, create the session, how we can add comment, everything we saw using Postman. So now we want to automate these APIs, right? So that we can add issues and everything, but we will do it from Eclipse now. So I'm just launching my Eclipse here, and then we will create one project. I think we have project, so we'll use that and we will see how we can do that. So okay, good. So here I think we have this one demo, source test Java, and already we have this post API and these things. So what I will do is I'm just closing this and this, and I will create one Java file here. So let's create one class, and the name will be Jira API. Okay, so that's uh, maybe if you want, we can have main here, or we can just create a Testng class, just like post API, right? We created here post API. So in that way, we can do that. So let's add one test annotation here. So we can say @test, and inside here, public void Jira API test, and we can import it from the Testng here. Good. So now what we have to do, see, when you want to automate these APIs, right? So if you want to create an issue, so we saw in the last issue, the last video, right? So this is our body, but we also need to provide this JSON ID so that this postman can log into the Jira and they can create the issue. So when we are doing it manually in the here Jira, we just log in and then we can create the issue. But when we are doing it the postman, they also need this session ID. Okay, so we created the session ID here using this API, create authorization, that we got it from here, right? We got it from this document that Jira has provided, so we just got it from here. Let's see, where is this? So we got it from here somewhere, right? Get permissions, maybe get permission. From where we got, let's see. Anyway, we got it from here, so I just don't want to spend more time now. So first we have to we have to execute this API to get the session ID, and then we will use this session ID that we are getting here in the response. So if you send it here, see, we got the response here, right? So we can use this session ID and we can create issue, we can add comment, whatever we want. So first we have to do this part. So let me do how we can do that. So first thing, let's create the base URI. So rest dot base URI, right? Yes. Yeah. So rest assured base URI, we can say base URL or URI, whatever, is equal to something. And here we have to, okay, rest assured, there is no dot here. Rest assured dot, yeah. So is there? Let's see what's going wrong here. Rest assured. Change. So 1 second, friends. Okay, so here we don't need this name, right? We just say rest assured base URI is whatever is the base URI. So what is the base URI? Base URI is this, right? Till localhost. So this is our base URI. So this we need for every API. So this is our base API. Base UI. Now what else? So now we have to execute this API, right, to get the session ID, create authorization. Okay, so let me do that. So how we can do that? We can say like, okay, given dot, you can, if you want to, why is not given, let me see, something is going wrong here, so we can see what is the problem. Anyways, not giving this because we have to import this static, maybe rest assured, right? So since this is a static, we have to import it from here. It's not giving the option, so that's why I think we are getting the error. So now if I say given dot, so we are able to get it. Good. So given dot, if you want to log everything for your request, you can say leave dot all. It's not mandatory. If you want, you can say log dot all. If you don't want, you can skip this, and then we can provide the header, right? So let's see what is the header. Header. So we have only two value. We can just remove this part here. Okay. So header, we can take it from here. What is the header here? See, go here, and do we have any header here? No. We just have some hidden headers, so that is not mandatory, but if we want, we can provide at least this content type. Okay, so we can provide this one, content type. Okay, so let's provide that content type here. content content uip content type, and we can provide the value here. Okay, so that's it. And then we can say, okay, given this dot, so we need body now. We can provide, because it is a post, so we need body. So in the body we can provide the request. Okay, so what is the request here? See, this username and password. So we have to provide our username and password here. Okay, and then event dot body dot, let's do it in the next line here, because I think, or we can we can put this also in the next line here, and we can remove it from here. Then we can say come here, dot given dot body dot when. Now we can say when, right? When dot post, and here we can provide the resource URL. So we can provide after this part, we can provide in this resource URL. Okay, so that it will make the complete URL now. So we provided the resource URL, and then we can say then dot log. If you want to log all, you can log all. If you want to extract it, you can say extract dot what you want to response dot to string. Now if you want, we can here we can capture it in the string variable stri string. We can say SESS session response is this. So now if you execute this, you will get the session response here, and then what we can do, you can you can create the object of JSON path, right? You can say like JSON path. That's what we learned in the last chapter. Like this is how we can do, right? We can create the object of JSON path is equal to new JSON path, and then inside this JSON path we can pass this variable here, session. we can just pass it here, right? So that's how we can do. Right, this error. Okay, import this JSON path, and then once you do it, then you can say like, okay, what is the response when you execute this? You will get something like this, right? So you have to retrieve the JSON session name and value. So you can using this, you can say okay, JS dot get name. So this is how we can do, and then we can store it, and then we can execute another API. Like if you want to create the issue or you want to update the things, you can provide this session in the header like we did it here, right, in the postman. So when you create the issue, so again you can create your code, and you can provide all the body, and in the header you can provide this uh, you can provide the cookie and like this whatever we retrieved. So this is the one way, but this is like you have to use the JSON path. But if you don't want to use JSON path, then also you can do. So for that we can create the object of session filter. So session filter is the class. We can use the object of this. Filter is like SELS session is equal to new session new session filter. Okay. So we can create the object of this session filter, and what else? Let's see why this error is there. Okay, import the session filter. Okay, and then here before you know before post before when, here we can say dot filter fil, and we can provide this filter name here dot session, right? We have it here. So what is happening here, when you create the object of the session filter, right, it will listen. Okay, whatever we are doing here, we are creating a session, right, using this post API. And what we are saying, okay, you store this session detail into this session, and we are just providing it here the filter. Okay, when you execute this, you will get the response, and in the response you have the session detail, like the whatever ID and everything. You just store it in this session variable that we have created here, object session filter object. So it will be stored here. Now whenever you want to use, you can just pass it. Like suppose now I want to, let's see if we have any comment, or I want to create any issue, we can use that. So if you come here, so suppose add comment, right? So let's see, we will do the add comment, and then we will pass this these things. So let's do this. Or you can create the issue also, or you can add the comment. So if you want to add a comment, we can, let's do that. So anything is fine, whatever you want, you can do that. So to add the comment, what we have to do is like, okay, given, again we have to say given dot log. So log dot all is like not required. If you don't want, you can just skip this. Okay, dot, and then you can say okay. So also I will explain one more concept here, the path parameter. But before that, let's see what we can do. Then header, right? Header. Header. The header. If you have used JSON path, we can provide the very value in the header here. But since we are using the session, so we don't need to provide that way. We will see if there is any other header here for the add comment. Okay, content type is there. So let's add that content type. So let's add it here like this. Okay. Okay. Good. Dot. Um, okay. So here we can say okay. Then we provided the header. What else we have to provide here? We need to provide body. BUDY body. So we can provide the body. Okay. So let's do it here. Dot body. Okay. What else after body? Just say we'll provide the body later. What else we want to provide? Dot dot filter. Why we are providing the filter? Because we will use this filter here, right? The session that we have generated, we'll use it here so that it can identify the login, and it can add the comment, whatever comment we want. Okay. What else? Then we can say okay, dot when dot post, and in the post we have to provide the resource, right? So what is the resource? Let's see what is the resource here. If you see, the resource is this. So here this 1001 is the issue ID. Okay, so let's see. We'll make some changes here, but for now I am just doing like this, and then we will say okay, the dot, then dot log dot all dot log all, and what else you want? Maybe you want to assert that status code. So we want to verify something here, status code. Okay. Yeah, I think that's so. What is the status code when you add the comment? When you add the comment, so let's add a comment first. Let's create a issue so that we can use that, because we created a new session ID here, right? So we have to use the session ID. Let's create one issue first, like this, and then when you click on the send button, so see whatever we have in the body. So let's say login issue 4, something is wrong, auto, and then let's send it. So it says unauthorized. Okay, so let's see why it is unauthorized. Let's run it again. So we got this session value here, and then we will provide it here, and then let's create the issue. Then we got the issue created. See, 201 means issue is created. So what is the issue ID? This is the issue ID. Now you go to the, okay, now we don't have to add comment because we are adding the comment using the this API, right? So we just need this issue ID 10100. Okay. And what is the status code? I think status code, when we add the comment, it is 200, or maybe it is let's see, what is that, 201. Okay, so let's give it here, and that's it. Now we have to make, see, this issue ID, right? It is it's coming from some if you see the issue ID is, what is the issue ID? See here, 10100, right? So how we can pass it here? So one way is you can just pass it like 10 whatever is here, right? You can pass it like this, 10100. So you can say 10100, you can pass it. So this is also fine. Or you can parameterize this. You can just say given dot, when you say it like or you can just say like given dot path parameter. Okay, so path parameter, path parameter. Okay, and the parameter are like this, and you can say like issue ID, or you can say just ID, or you can say issue ID, and here you can pass the issue ID. What is the issue ID? 10100. And here, instead of this, you can pass this in the curly braces, issue ID. So why we are doing it like, okay, we don't have to change. Suppose the issue ID is changed, we just need to change it here. Okay, so we can do this. We can pass the path parameter or query parameter here, and then we can use that variable here. Okay, so this is also one thing I wanted to show. So now what we are doing, we created one object of the session filter, and using that, when we are executing this command, like when we are executing this post API, which is we are creating the session, right? And we are storing it here in the session filter object. That's what we did. We provided session here, and then we are using it here to execute another API, which we will add a comment. Okay, so we need body also. So let's copy the body. So when you want to add a comment, go to the body, and this is the body. So if you want to change something, you can change like, okay, first comment by auto API. Okay, so let's copy and just put it here. Save it. Now let's run it. See, everything is passed, and okay, now first let's see whether that everything is created here in the Jira, right? So we will go to the Jira, We will go to the project. This is our project name. Okay. And here see, this 4 login issue 4 is created by us in the postman. But let's go to the comment, right? See, Vivek M added a comment just now. First comment by auto API. So this comment is added by Eclipse. Here, see, first comment added by auto API. And the Eclipse is able to add the comment using the API because it has this session object right here. See, it has the session, so we use the session filter to add it. If you don't want to use the session filter, you can use the JSON path. Like here you can create the JSON path object and you can pass this string variable, and then you can say like, okay, js dot get, and take the name, and you can provide it here in the header. So here you can add like you have content type, you can add more headers. Okay, so this is the way we can do it. So if you see here, everything is passed as well. So yeah, friends. So I think in this way you can add like we can suppose you want to add attachment, you can do that, and something like that, or you can update the comment. So let's do that in the next video. Thank you for watching.